If you're even thinking about selling your home in Long Beach or any of the surrounding cities, whether it's 6 weeks or 6 months from today, now's the time to start planning. Proactive sellers don't wait until they're ready. They get ahead of the curve, and because of that, their sales usually go smoother, faster, and often they sell for more money. So let's talk about what those smart homeowners are doing early and what you can do right now, even if you're not ready to list. The truth is, planning a sale is rarely about timing the perfect market. It's about being prepared. So when it is time to list, you're not scrambling. Buyers notice the difference between a rushed listing and a well-prepped home. And agents, well, we do too. So when should you start planning? Ideally, 3 to 6 months out gives you the time to make small repairs and updates. Declutter, simplify. If you're moving, that's a great time to figure out what you want to get rid of and what to start packing away to declutter. This process also helps, guys, to de-stress when the time comes to get your home ready to put it on the market. Review comps and local trends with a trusted advisor who will keep you up to date on what's happening in your neighborhood until you are ready. And most importantly, set your own timeline instead of reacting to pressure. Most homeowners don't realize how many steps are involved, and they wait too long to ask questions. I have a seller that I'm working with right now that I started working with over 6 months ago. He and his wife explained that they wanted to make some improvements to the property prior to selling it to maximize the sale. They had already done he had already done some improvements to the house. He had renovated a couple of bathrooms, but the kitchen was dated. The floors had years of wear and tear. The walls needed painting. So it made sense to take the time to finish redoing the kitchen, refinish the floors, paint the walls. So we started months ago, and they asked if I would help them with selecting paint colors, helping them pick out some finishes for the kitchen, and now we're in the home stretch. And it made sense also because the bathrooms were done beautifully. He had done a great job. So now the home is dialed in, and it's going to yield so much more because of the neighborhood that it's in. That's another reason why it makes sense to plan ahead. And when we looked at the comparables in that neighborhood, it absolutely made sense to do what we're doing to get the home ready. Brings us to the next question. What do proactive sellers handle early? Here's what I see the most prepared sellers doing. Prepping the home gradually, starting with closets, garage, or the backyard. Closets and garage are usually the places where I see people really wanting to stick their head in the sand. They just don't want to look the other way. Fixing red flags before buyers see them. Roof, electrical, small repairs. Gathering documents, permits, warranties, repair records, etc. Meeting with a lender or financial planner if they're buying and selling at the same time. The goal isn't to do everything at once. It's to remove stress later by handling the big stuff now and early. Another thing to consider is that buyer expectations vary by neighborhood. In Bixby Knolls, California Heights, Los Altos, Carson Park, buyers may be younger families who value functionality and updated systems over aesthetics. What works in one neighborhood might not be as important in another neighborhood, just depending on who the primary buyers are. That's why generic advice doesn't work. You need to know what the buyers in your specific neighborhoods, especially when it comes to cities like Long Beach, care about. The last thing we're going to discuss is what to do now, even if you're not ready to list. Here are a few low-stress ways to get ahead. Walk through your home like a buyer. Where do your eyes go first? Ask your agent for a pre-listing walkthrough, not to pressure you, but to flag things you might miss. Start tracking homes in your neighborhood that go on the market and really pay attention to how they're presented and the condition they're in and how long they're sitting on the market. If they're selling quickly, how did they show? How did they present? It'll give you a realistic sense of the value and also what did they do differently. And it'll also kind of help you with what you need to be doing to get your home ready for the market, if that makes sense. You don't need to be ready to list to start preparing. In fact, the sellers who reach out early often feel more in control, less overwhelmed, and get better results because they planned, not panicked. If you want help knowing what to expect or how to get started, I'm here for that. You can scan the QR code or on your screen and book a call whenever you're ready. Bye for now, and hope to hear from you soon.